Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Black Accountant. It's your boy Mo, and if you haven't already done so, you know the drill. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments of any kind of content you want to see going forward. But most importantly, don't forget to turn on notification bells so you get notified when I drop new videos. Man, so today's title, I wanted to call it, you're actually mad at yourself. You're not mad at other people, you're mad at yourself. And the reason I say this is because most often, and a lot of times, when you go through some shit or you go through some things in life, there are a lot of people to blame. There's a lot of people to blame. And obviously, a lot of times those people are worth blaming and actually should be blamed for certain things that happen. But I think the biggest thing within this fear is that we point the finger for too long, where you're mad at that person, but you're mad so strongly because at the end of the day, you're mad at yourself. So what do I mean by that? It's sort of like when you go through a situation or a scenario that somebody put you through. Let's say you were in a relationship for a very long time and that relationship was very sour, had a lot of ups and downs. Person put you through the ringer. There was a lot of gaslighting, whatever it was. And you find yourself being mad about it many years later, although you're no longer in that situation. And oftentimes when you're still mad about these things, you keep repeating and keep pointing the finger back at that situation and saying, hey, because of XYZ, this is why I'm still here. Because of this is what happened, I'm still here. Because this thing happened at this time, I'm still in this zone or in this space. But the reason you're still stuck in this space, at least in my opinion, is because you're mad at yourself for allowing those situations to continue, for allowing yourself to be pulled in certain directions or be taken out of your energy in the way that you were. And it makes it very difficult to live in the now because you're so focused on the past and what happened. Now, it doesn't mean you can't hold anybody accountable. It doesn't mean that you can't be mad at somebody, but it means that you should forgive yourself. In the sense that, yes, you may have felt like you wasted time. Maybe you did waste that time. Maybe had you come up with the correct comeback, maybe if you had something a little bit more witty to say, maybe if you had seen signs earlier. And I'm not just talking about relationships, like when it comes to these things, it's because sometimes we make really big, bad decisions, or sometimes we allow ourselves to sort of succumb to our laziness or succumb to certain traits that we don't like about ourselves. And then you start kicking yourself in the butt low key about it for a very long time. And you'll never be able to move past it until you address it, until you allow yourself that space and that forgiveness to say, hey, I went through this, I went through that fire, and what did I learn from it? I came out of it a different person. Recognizing that the experience still happened. Whatever it is, the experience happened, but that experience has passed. That time has passed. So you can allow yourself to move on. You can allow yourself to learn from those mistakes, to learn from those past experiences. And I think that's the key thing here. The key takeaway is to learn from those experiences. And once you allow yourself to have failed, you allow yourself the leeway to say like, hey, it wasn't my fault, or give yourself the leeway to say that yes, I was absorbed in that, but I've moved on. Then you allow yourself to learn the lesson, and you allow yourself the space to be healed from it, if that makes any sense. And I thought that was a really interesting point, because when I reflect on my own life and certain aspects and things that happened to me, there were so many people I was blaming. And they did have a big hand and a big part in those experiences that I had. And I was found like more recently that I was more angry about the fact that I let that happen for so long and didn't say anything, or didn't stand up for myself, or didn't exit the situation earlier. But then allowing that anger or those thoughts to really build up in my mind, I realized I was, despite thinking I was living in the present, I was really living in the past, because I would still be thinking about those things on a consistent basis. And it took me a minute to just rewire and think, Why don't I just, if I reflect on those experiences, look at the good that it brought me? Look at the lesson I learned from it. Now I know not to deal with these types of people. Now I know how to stand up for myself in these situations. Now I know that if I go back even into those environments, I'm 100% confident in who I am now. I'm not going to be swayed by that environment. So therefore, it should not have that same kind of hold or that same kind of effect on me. And that allows me to now step into a new space and become somebody else and really shift and not give that thing any more time or energy. Just shifting completely towards the new, or shifting completely towards the better, and allowing myself to be better and allowing myself to take the better and move on. Now, that's all I really had for today's video. It was just sort of a passing thought, and I thought it would be a good idea to make it into a video. But let me know what your thoughts are on the subject in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.